I am really excited to be here today with my two dear friends. I mean, you're like brothers and sisters to Maria and I. They're Jill and Grant Batson from Nashville. We're outside of Nashville, right? You guys are no longer in Nashville. You moved from the big city to the country.
Yes.
All right. And Jill, you're a therapist.
I am.
And Grant, you make some amazing
pies.
Yeah, what do you do?
Grant makes these unbelievable smoking pipes. They're spectacular works of art. And Jill, you're quite a photographer yourself.
I do a little bit on the side, yeah.
And Grant, with his brother Corey, used to make Batson guitars, which are, again, works of art. But you guys moved to the country and you picked up 100 acres.
We did.
So everybody has this notion that moving out to the country is the most beautiful romantic thing, right? Where
There's
it's
this
just
idea.
right, rainbows and leprechauns all over the place, and horses and
We shoot them though in Tennessee.
We shoot everything in Tennessee.
But at least you're able to get some amazing fresh produce, and you farm, right? You have chickens and ducks,
Chickens
right?
and ducks, horses.
So would you say that there's a difference between store-bought store-bought eggs and farm-raised eggs?
Oh, for sure.
The flavor?
Yeah.
The flavor, the color.
Right. And
yeah, definitely.
And the holidays are coming up now, so you guys are probably going to have a ton of people over. The kids are all going to be, you have 4 kids.
Right.
They're all going to be together now. And so on this show, I'm going to show you how to make an egg bake or a frittata. And the great thing about this is it's easy. It's ridiculously simple.
Love it.
And I'm going to show you how you're going to prepare it. But the beautiful thing about it too is you can put in whatever you want.
Okay, nice.
The only thing that I recommend to the audience watching is that they use organic eggs. And I go to a local farmer here who they work 7 days a week.
Oh yeah.
That's what you do when you make things and you farm things.
That's right.
It is. It's a lot of work.
Chickens don't lay eggs like Monday through Friday, 9 to 5.
That's right.
Yeah. The goats' udders don't stop producing like after at 5. They get off early on Friday, 4:30.
They also want to eat every day, twice a day.
Yeah, they like to eat.
The farmer here, Ticlud, it's a Welsh name. They produce raw milk, and they're very careful with what they feed the chickens. The eggs taste significantly different. The color's better. There's a creamier texture to the egg.
Definitely.
It's miles apart from a store-bought egg, hands down. But in a pinch, you still can get some cage-free organic eggs from a wholesale shopping club like Costco. But obviously, it's always best to buy from a local farmer like them. And they have this cool machine where they weigh out the eggs. It's like the whole thing just goes up and down, and if it's heavy, it'll just get pushed out, and it's just really cool.
Interesting.
We're gonna make a frittata today, and you're gonna love it, and you're gonna serve it to your family, and then you're gonna let me know what you think about it.
Absolutely.
Great, cool. So Jill,
Yeah.
we're gonna have holidays soon, Christmas, and the kids will all be home. You have 4,
Right.
And family's always coming to visit you. So, big breakfasts, I'm assuming.
Lots of big breakfasts.
Right. So I want to show you how to make this egg bake, and I want it to be really, really easy. The last thing you want to be doing 3 times a day is cooking for everybody.
Right.
So it's so simple to do this.
Love it.
It's very easy. We're gonna basically add all the ingredients to this pan cold.
Okay.
And we're going to turn on the induction heater so that everything cooks a little bit on the outside. The reason why I do this is it's going to form almost like a little bit of a crust. When you slice it out of here and you serve it, you want it to almost look like a pie.
Okay, so it's going to hold together a little bit.
It's going to hold together a little bit. It's going to be a little darker. And then we're going to take it and put it in the oven, which we set to 375 convection bake. If you don't have convection bake, then just leave it at 400.
Okay.
And you're just gonna cook it until you could take a little knife and put it in the center of it, and there's no raw egg in the middle.
Okay, so it's not like jelly in the middle.
Exactly.
Gotcha.
So you're gonna do all the work. I'm just gonna guide you here.
All right.
First thing we do is let's open up our butter.
Why do you use this kind?
I love Kerrygold butter,
Oh, yeah?
and it's organic. It's made from cows, the milk that comes from grass-fed cows.
Nice.
If you can get organic butter, I'm sure you can.
Yeah.
Living on a farm, and probably you might even be able to get some from a neighbor, but I don't know.
Yeah, we've got lots of different options out there. So just what, you cut off a piece?
What we're gonna do is let's just cut that right down the middle.
Like
or it's
this?
just a little. Let's do a quarter, like a quarter stick.
There you go.
Yeah, that's about right.
All the way down.
Yep. And you're going to, that's fine, just wipe the whole, even though this is
Okay.
non-stick, you want to wipe the whole
whole
inside
thing.
of the pan. Yeah.
It's like a nice thick coat, even on there.
It doesn't have to be terribly thick. You just want to
Okay.
make sure that because it's cooking from cold, you're not heating,
Gotcha.
putting anything hot. You don't want it to stick because then when you serve it, it's kind of not going to look that great.
Yeah, that's true. That makes sense. Is that enough?
That's it. Now
Perfect.
take the rest and cut it up into little cubes and just
Okay.
throw it in there.
All of it.
All of it. You need about a quarter stick of butter. And I know
Okay.
it sounds like a lot, but you're making 12 eggs, and this is going to feed
Sure.
about 5 people. The way you have those, like cut them in half.
Okay. I know you're probably judging the way I cut
I'm not.
things. All right,
Just throw them in there. It doesn't
just
matter.
Like this?
Nope, just like that. Just like that. Spread them out.
Spread
like
them
that.
out?
That's fine. Yep.
Okay.
We're going to just crack 12 eggs in here.
Just right in the pan.
Just right in the pan.
Okay.
Just the way it is. So you can help if you want. I'll help you
Sure.
out. These are organic eggs from
Okay.
the local farmer
Nice.
that we talked about.
How much does a dozen eggs go for out here?
About $5.
Yeah, same in Tennessee.
Now, if you don't have a local farmer, Costco does have organic eggs,
Okay.
which is kind of good,
That's great.
and we talked about that. The key to this is you don't want to beat the eggs too much. You don't
Okay.
want the yolks and the whites to be too mixed up. If the whites are on their own, it's going to become a much thicker, fluffier omelet.
Oh, that makes sense. Okay.
We're just going to
So
beat
just
it right in the
gently.
pan, just like this. Break the yolks.
Have you ever used duck eggs? We have ducks.
No, but I have, but
Oh, yeah?
not for an egg bake.
Do you think that would work?
I think would need 12.
No. They're like twice the size. They've got double the protein, obviously.
Okay, so just take a look at that. You see
Okay.
how it's still almost swirly? Mm-hmm. You don't want any of the yolks to be whole,
Right. So break those
so
up.
break those up.
Okay.
But you don't want it all whisked into the same color, so it's going to kind of look
Gotcha.
like that.
Okay.
I think what happens is that whites kind of form almost like pockets, and they stay thick, but when you blend them in entirely with the yolk, it doesn't get as high. So
Right.
I've done it.
Because the yolk is like thicker, heavier, right?
Yeah, I
of
guess.
the egg.
This is how I've been doing it, and
Okay.
it comes out much thicker. And then you're going to add some heavy cream to this. Now that's optional.
Gotcha.
You don't want to necessarily add, too much. But here I just kind of put like a quarter cup almost. Just
Gotcha.
kind of like that.
Could you use like coconut milk or coconut cream, or if someone's going
Coconut cream.
dairy free, you'd want to do something like that.
I would go with coconut cream. And now we're going to add whatever we want to it. Now
Okay.
you're going to be adding
Nice.
my favorite stuff. So you're going to add feta. We're going to add tomatoes. We're going to add mushrooms.
Perfect.
Spinach, and then we're going to cover it with Havarti. And all of these things I've purchased from Costco. If you do get your feta from Costco, there's a Greek feta. It's called Dodonis, D-O-D-O-N-I, Dodoni. That's the one you want to get. The other one's not very good.
What's the difference? What do you think?
Flavor-wise,
Okay.
much richer, much creamier.
Gotcha.
Just if it's imported from Greece, it's a well-known Greek feta that
Okay.
a lot of people love. It's not the best feta because the stuff that I use is organic, which is really good, but it's also organic feta is really hard to find, and I would imagine
it?
it wouldn't be so easy to find in Tennessee either.
Yeah, I've never seen
It's not that easy to find in New York.
Okay.
So, but I mean, if you find it, then use it.
Yeah, for sure.
The tomatoes are not organic, but if you have access to organic tomato,
Yeah.
whatever you can use that's organic, go with
Go with
organic. You can slice up some mushrooms.
How do you like them sliced?
Well, cut them in half. There you go. And then,
Half again?
well, I would
What do you
just
do?
kind of do this,
Show me. Oh, wow.
just like that.
I've
So
never
like slices.
cut a mushroom like that.
Really?
No.
You
George.
can watch my video on how to cut, and
I do need to watch that.
that's a good one.
So how many mushrooms are you going to add to that?
It's really up to you. For me,
Okay.
I would add about 5 to this. You're
Okay.
going to see visually how everything lays in the pan because that's exactly what's going to happen to it. It's
Gotcha.
going to look like that when it's done. And that's what, the third one?
Third, yeah.
So I would say 2 more. I mean,
Gotcha.
if it also has to be appealing to your eye.
Right. Well, I mean, this is beautiful.
And by the way, the mushrooms, we wash them, obviously.
Yes, please wash them.
So now cut some tomatoes up. Just cut them in half.
How many?
Well, I would say those are small, so I would measure those by cup. I would say about a cup and a half. You know, some tomatoes are gonna be bigger than others, so
For sure.
they may take up more space in the cup and you'll actually get less tomato in there.
Gotcha.
You gotta try to visualize, like if you look at this, like to me, in my mind's eye, this looks like enough mushroom. So as you add it to it, you say, well, you know what, this is enough tomato. The whole beauty of cooking like this is you don't have to worry about details like that.
I did try to like do all the different color mushroom. Tomatoes. So it'd be pretty.
Very pretty. I would add a couple more to that because it just seemed to get lost in there.
This is a sharp knife.
Yeah.
I like it.
And if you haven't watched my video on how to sharpen a knife, the link's up there.
How often do you sharpen your knives?
I hone them constantly.
Oh, okay.
As far as, well, so there's sharpening and honing. Sharpening I only do once a month.
Okay, gotcha.
At the restaurant.
Okay.
At home, once a year.
Oh.
But honing, I'm constantly honing. Because
Gotcha.
what happens is the edge of the knife wavers, it loses, it gets blunt. And you don't have to sharpen it because it's there. You just have to realign both edges.
Oh, okay, that makes sense.
So, okay, now.
So easy.
I would say.
This next?
Yeah, I wouldn't go with the whole thing on this.
Okay.
I would say probably 3/4 of that.
Okay.
Just crumble it up, and you don't have to cut it. You can crumble it up by hand. I think that's me. That's this one's what I would put in there. Yeah.
You want this one?
Yeah.
Okay.
You
so
can
just crumble it.
Crumble it up right in there. Yeah.
Oh, nice. What do you think the advantage to feta? Would you use another kind in here, or do you like this because of the taste?
So I find that most fetas that are made in America aren't very good.
Right.
They tend to be almost like salty blocks of what feta. They don't have any character.
Right.
And then there's fetas that you would want to eat without anything. Like Bulgarian feta doesn't really go good in food, and goat cheese feta doesn't go really, really good in food.
Okay.
So I wouldn't add goat cheese feta or Bulgarian feta to my food.
Okay.
I like this because I would stay with the sheep or cow. Yeah, sheep or cow works really well.
Okay.
And this feta is creamy and it's delicious, and
It is.
and there's a balance between the salt and the heaviness of the cream that they put in it.
Okay.
And I like this, but the other one they have at Costco, it's like almost like pre-crumbled, is not very good.
I've seen those.
Yeah, it's not very good.
So if you don't like feta, what other cheese would you use?
Whatever you want. You can do manchego, you can do cheddar, you can
Really?
do, you don't even have to
Okay.
put cheese. You can do
True.
whatever you really want.
Okay.
Now this is gonna be the spinach is where it gets a little tricky because it's gonna wilt in there. And you don't wanna overdo, and it's not gonna wilt
don't chop
that
it up.
much. No, I just put it in whole.
Okay.
We're trying to be done. We wanna hang out with our
Simple,
guests.
easy, beautiful.
Simple and easy, so.
Love it.
And then just wanna make sure that the spinach kinda gets under the eggs.
Okay, so a little bit on top, huh?
Yep, kinda like that,
Wow, that's nice.
right?
Yeah.
We're gonna season this. Now, I'm just gonna season it with a little pepper. You don't have to put pepper, like that.
That's nice.
And I use Celtic sea salt.
What's
It's
that?
readily available on it. This is Irish salt from Ireland.
Okay.
And it's a gray salt. It comes wet.
Right.
It's got 40% less sodium than salt and a ton more minerals. It's actually
Interesting.
an electrolyte. Like I've seen nutritionists that told me in the summertime, if I feel like it's really hot and I'm working,
Right.
I'm cooking, take a little bit, put it under your tongue, and you'll get a pop of energy. Try that.
Wow. Serious?
It's not really salty, right? If that was a regular cube of coarse salt or a flake of coarse salt, you'd be like, ooh.
Oh yeah.
But it doesn't do
It's
that.
mild, actually.
It's got a nice flavor to it. So like in this, just to give you a general idea, I would say 2 teaspoons in this, but I know the salt, so you would use a teaspoon. 2 teaspoons in this would be perfect.
So if you don't have that, what would you use? If
You would
only
use
have
less
Okay.
Himalayan or less sea salt.
Okay. I use a lot of kosher salt. Would that be good in there? Or
So kosher salt is just sodium chloride.
too salty?
I wouldn't use that ever.
Okay.
So unless you're like, you got like a driveway that needs to get de-iced or something.
Perfect.
All right. So herb de Provence. This is organic. Smell that. Right.
That's
That
nice.
gives it a really nice character. So that's the other spice that I'm going to use. That's it.
So what is in that?
So it's got marjoram in it. It's got
Okay.
some basil in it. They actually there's some lavender in it.
Really?
It's a blend. Yeah.
Huh.
So now we seasoned it. So we're going to just mix everything up a little bit so that the salt doesn't just stay on the spinach and stay in one spot.
Right.
And that's it. You're gonna put a lid on this. I'm gonna put the power on this to 3/4, so 20 is the highest. I'm gonna put this
Okay.
on 15. Induction burners get really, really hot.
Okay.
And we don't want to burn the bottom of it. We just
No.
want it to bubble up. If you look carefully at these edges, you can see that they're almost started to form like
Definitely,
they're
yeah.
cooked. It's totally raw in the middle. Now we're gonna take I'm using Havarti again that I bought from Costco. You can use
Okay.
cheddar, whatever you want. Don't eat this part.
Yeah, I don't like that
Yeah.
part. It's not good.
You don't put it in with the lid. So
You
it just
don't.
goes
Okay.
right in the oven.
Nice. Let me get that.
Yeah.
So 350.
Well, it's 375, but it's
Okay.
375 convection.
Gotcha.
So it's 375, but it says 350 because convection bake is always 25 degrees less.
Okay.
So if you
Gotcha.
don't have convection,
You
I would put it at 400.
Okay, for about 20 minutes?
It's about 15, 20 minutes, yeah.
Okay.
That's what I would do.
Gotcha.
And then we're gonna eat it.
Can't wait.
That's it, really simple.
Simple, beautiful.
Simple. Jill, I want to thank you for being on my show.
Oh, yeah.
Hopefully this is something that'll be really easy for you.
Absolutely.
And let me know how it works out. Stay in touch, of course.
Of course.
And I just want to thank you for tuning in. If you haven't subscribed to this channel, I really would appreciate it if you did. Hit that notification bell. It'll let you know when my videos come out, which is usually once a week. And remember, if you go to warehousechef.com, I give you a complete ingredient list. So I look forward to seeing you soon and come back again. Thank you.